What's up, guys? Welcome back to another DJ Chris Wright show. Was- been reading a lot of stuff online. Wedding season is in full effect, and I'm just trying to get better every year, every event. I just try and get better and better, and I try to find out, what some of the trends are. And sometimes when you've been doing stuff so long and it's been working for you, you continue to do it, but things are changing. What brides want is changing, what audiences expect is changing. So for me, I just want to make sure that I'm going out there and I'm doing the best job I can, but also I just don't want to come off as cheesy. And what is cheesy? What's a cheesy DJ? So if you want to find out, you want to look at a lot of DJ reviews. You want to find out what brides hate, because this is a new generation. We're XYZ now, and we just want to make sure that we are doing the things that entertain crowds of all ages. Make sure that a lot of the younger brides who may be 20, 30 years younger than you as a DJ, you just want to make sure that you're keeping up with some of the current trends and not relying on things that you did 10 years ago. But we'll be right back. I'm DJ Chris Wright. Talk to you on the other side. All right. So, what is a cheesy wedding DJ? So, I actually looked online. I was looking at some reviews, and what are some of the things that people just don't like anymore? So, when I am being interviewed by brides and grooms, and they tell me, I said, "So, what are you looking for in your wedding? Like, what do you envision? What did you see a DJ do that you absolutely don't like, or it's kind of cringeworthy?" And one of the things they don't like is DJs who talk too much. You know, we get these microphones in front of us, and sometimes we feel that we have to say something, or we need to urge the crowd to dance, or we say things to get them hype. Now, sometimes it works. I mean, sometimes younger crowds may like that. I know they do it at high school proms. You may do it at a school dance, at an outdoor event like some type of fair or carnival. But some people just don't want that at their wedding. So you got to be real careful. They don't want to hear, like, wave your hands in the air. 1, 2, 3, jump, jump, jump. Sometimes that stuff works, and there's other times it lands very flat, or so you just have to you got to know your crowd, and you got to know when that's going to be acceptable and when it's not. um this girl here says the only time you guys need to speak is when you are announcing things that are happening throughout the night. And I get that expectation from you know future bride and grooms that I'm going to be doing their wedding. I'm like, hey, listen, I am very, very professional, kind of low key. I try not to be the show. You are the show, so I want to make sure that I am not trying to take over the night. But, if they say I want a hype DJ, I want some people have even asked me if I come with an MC who's going to hype up the crowd and get, people moving. But if that's not what they want, you can definitely ask them in the consultation. Um, What's another thing that some people don't like? That you may not play enough slow songs. You're so cheesy that you're playing 128 beats per minute all night. You got to change tempos, man. You got to slow it down a little bit. And I'm not saying you play too many slow songs, because, you're going to lose people, and they're waiting for that slow song to come on, and they start greeting the bride and say, "Hey, we're going to get out of here. Let's have a good night." And then next thing you know, you play too many slow songs, and people are kind of drifting away. So that can be kind of cheesy. What about being inappropriate on the mic? Here's a girl who said, um, some DJs, and she's put an age on it. She said in their mid 40s and higher, they will tell sexist jokes. Now, a lot of brides and grooms no longer do the garter and the bouquet anymore. But it was during those times where things got a little weird, and DJs would say sexist things that are no longer appropriate, no longer welcome at the wedding, and we just want to be careful that we are not putting that kind of energy out there. So we have to just, really be careful about what we're saying on the microphone. Is it appropriate? Is it children appropriate? Or is it even senior appropriate? There are people or senior citizens that go, I can't believe he just said that. So we want to make sure that we aren't doing that as well. Um, one person here says, I don't like over enthusiastic DJs. What does that mean? I don't know. But check your energy at the door. Read your crowd, read the people who are in the room, see if you need to be enthusiastic, overly enthusiastic, or not enthusiastic at all. You kind of let the night come to you, let the day come to you, and you'll figure out where people just want to have a good time. Some people need to be ribbed a little bit. It just depends on who you're talking to. So you just want to make sure that you're not being cheesy by being overly enthusiastic. Um, this person says, I've been to multiple weddings where the DJ thinks he's a comedian. So he thinks he's like live at the improv all of a sudden, and he just does like whole comedy bits. Or what about the DJ to say, I want to tell you guys a story? Well, I don't think the bride and groom hired you to say a toast. They have people toasting. They have a best man toasting. They have a maid of or matron of honor toasting. Sometimes they have a father giving a speech. They don't need you to tell a story. So be very, very careful with that, because that can fall flat and people think, who does this guy think he is, So just make sure you're not doing that. DJs who don't take the song requests seriously. So I know that, at our company, and most DJs have these online planners, and we tell the brides and grooms, hey, pick, you know, a whole lot of songs that you like. For me, it just kind of gets me to understand what the genre of music that they like. But then here's some must plays, and then here's some do not plays, and all that kind of stuff. And take it seriously. Like those must plays are very important. And if you decide to go, full Pitbull and Kesha all night and play some of those, like I said, 128 beat per minute or hip hop, because that's what you like, and you don't play their request, you're being cheesy. Like, and you are just not understanding what you were hired to do. You're not there for you. You are there for that bride and groom who hired you. So make sure that you're doing that. Here's a person who says, I don't like when DJs play similar style songs in a row for too long. Now, I play sets, okay? Now, but I make sure those sets aren't too long. You gotta know when you're going overboard. If you're gonna play, I'll give you an example, a hip hop set. That hip hop set should really be 3, max 4 songs, and they should be kind of, and if you're gonna play more, make sure you quick mix them. A verse in, a verse out, something recognizable, something that really pumps the crowd up. And then as soon as they get into it, you switch to the next song. And then if you're going to play quick mixes, you could do 4 or 5, hip hop songs, and then get out of it. Go to maybe a rock set. And once again, 3, maybe 4 rock songs, some of the classics, some Journey, maybe some Guns N' Roses, some Aerosmith, you know, Led Zeppelin, whatever you want to do, but get in, get out, recognizable. If you want to play some of the 70s and 80s, or like a disco set, in and out quickly. You don't need to be playing full 4-minute songs. That's like 12 minutes to 15 minutes of one genre. Of course they're going to get upset. Of course they're going to say, they're going to give you the old throat cut, like, stop it, enough disco. That's when you get one of the bridesmaids to walk up to the booth and go, "Hey, you think you can switch it to something more current?" And as a DJ, you can be embarrassed, be like, "Oh, I guess I stayed in that set too long." If they say absolutely, positively, no country music, or then you don't play the country music. But if they say a little bit of country, then you can play, maybe back to back two country songs, but you don't have to play the whole thing. Get in, get out, keep it moving. And also, more and more couples love when you can beat mix, and mix your songs. Not too much scratching. You don't want to wicka 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 all night, because even though you may have a crowd of people who like the scratching, for some people it's irritating. Like, they did not scratch back in 1970 too much. They didn't scratch in 1960. So if you're scratching, Rock Around the Clock or something from the Temptations, it just doesn't go off really well. So you really need to know your crowd and knowing if you can scratch. But beat mixing, people love that because they're in a rhythm. And if you're going from song to song and they don't dance very well and they're two stepping, if you beat match properly, they never stop the two steps. In fact, they're going to go, "That was a very nice mix. I like the way you mixed that Aretha Franklin with that, I don't know, Elvis or something like that." Whatever it may be, if it's smooth and a nice transition, that's going to be welcomed. So just be careful, your beat matching, but learn how to do it. I think DJs should learn how to do it, and DJs should make sure they're using it at the appropriate time. Sometimes I just cut one song off and go right to the next. I don't always beat match. Sometimes it's not always appropriate, especially if I'm changing BPMs or tempos. All right. So, and people like that. I may go from a 128 down to a 96. And depending on how I bring that, may do an echo or, some like a then bang right into the next song. So, and if it doesn't go over well, then you want to make sure that you are beat matching and changing those tempos and going from to different genres. Um, oh, and another thing, back to back artists. Ooh, like three Beyonces in a row, three Bruno Mars in a row, three Pitbulls in a row. I know I've had people go, "Hey, can you play some Pitbull?" Since 20, I'm gonna say since the early 2010s, every year or sometimes twice a year, Pitbull was coming out with some wedding bangers. And like, so you would go to a wedding and you would hear multiple Pitbull. You got to know your artist and know, wait a minute, is that featuring Pitbull or is that Pitbull featuring Kesha? Or is that Pitbull featuring Neo? Or is that Usher featuring Pitbull? Because if you're not paying attention to that, you can actually play too much Pitbull. I know that I've done it. Guilty as charged, because he was on so many songs, and sometimes he was the feature act, and then sometimes he had another artist. Same thing with like too much David Guetta. He was the same thing. He was like, "Man, you played like three David Guetta songs in six in a 6 song set." So you just want to be really careful with that. What else was there? Um, oh, throwbacks. Move your genres around. Not your genres, but move your eras around. If you're going to play some 90s, go from 90s to 2020, and then maybe go down to the 80, then come back up to 2014 or 2022, because you never want people to say, "Can you play something current, or can you play some throwbacks?" If you're mixing it all together, you're entertaining all ages, all graduating classes, all types of different groups, young and old, and everyone is having fun. So you can, they'll be jamming to Everybody Dance Now, and then they might come up and play some Dua Lipa. Kind of see what I'm saying? Because you're mixing up the eras. So it's not just genres, it's also eras. And you can really get cheesy if you get stuck in an era. And really, that's kind of some ways to avoid being a cheesy DJ, but make sure the throw your hands in the air, the yelling on the microphone, the 1, 2, 3, jump, 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 the telling jokes, being sexist, um, anything that might be racy. You just want to be really careful. Don't make fun of a particular ethnic group, like tell an Italian joke or a Polish joke, or you just never know. So that's a cheesy DJ. And of course, the biggest thing about not being a cheesy DJ is dressing appropriately. I didn't say dress up, I didn't say be formal, but just dress appropriate, dress event appropriate, that you're wearing the right clothes for the right event. It's okay to ask the bride and groom, this is what I typically wear. You think I'll be overdressed, underdressed? They're like, oh, that would be for our wedding, that would be way, way overdressed. So you just want to make sure that you understand the mood of the room. All right, guys, that's all I got for you today. I'll bring some more heat to this at another time, but I just wanted to talk about what is a cheesy DJ. If you don't know, you'll figure it out really quickly because your audience does know. I'll talk to you guys later.